Welcome, trendsetters. Well, here we are. It's already July, and I haven't had a minute to actually do a Trump in July. So here it is. I'm itching to know. So it was great catching up with Dave Johnson. I've loved your comments. Thank you so much, everyone. So now we have to see what's happening. Oh! With the Trump in July. Now, because I've missed the first few days, when I did June, I did week by week. So because it's already the 3rd of July here, I'm going to do beginning, middle, and end of July. So much has happened again, of course, and I have to do a reading on Justice Kennedy and his son, who's obviously bent as a fishhook, so that's going to be a juicy reading too. So I've pulled out the Thoth deck and I'm reading for Trump, but he would have to be choking on his Weet-Bix at the moment. Oh, he doesn't eat Weet-Bix, does he? Choking on his Big Mac, because Cohen's turned. There's no doubt in my mind that Cohen has turned. So he's got a lot to worry about. So because of that, he's going to want to be looking at other things. But let's see what July has in store for Donald. Oops, the Chariot fell out. We'll definitely start with that one. Trump in July. Trump in July. So with this, let me bring you down, viewers. Okay. At the beginning. This is a sort of awkward format here. I'll do what I can. This is the middle. Oh, I love the bat wings. Oh. All right. But these are such beautiful cards, I must say. I've really got over the hump about the Thoth deck. They do have such a dark history, but the images themselves are so gorgeous. All right, now, Trump himself, still in the driver's seat, still intimidating everyone around him, still moving forward at a great pace. He's got a lot to do because he has to dismantle the world pattern of trade. He has to separate more families. He has to bulldoze his way around the world and destroy allegiances that have been made up painfully over the last 50 years. And he's still got to completely wreck the Constitution. So he's got a lot of work ahead, and he is still the man going forward on the Chariot. Early in July, this reinforces the Chariot. This one with this winged lion figure, there's one with a bull and one with a lion, continuing that theme, right? So this is the Prince of Wands. At this point, early July, he's still up for it. He's still got the energy to keep charging around, causing chaos. He is a chaos merchant. That's what he loves. He also gets the Ace of Discs, money, everything about money, everything for money, everything around money. It's about money, money, money. Okay, no mystery there. In the Rider-Waite, it also has the meaning of fool's gold. So he is someone who manages to have gold toilets and convince workers that he's on their side. Fool's gold. Also, it could end up, of course, that same sources of all that money leading him into 20 years of court cases. So it's fool's gold in that sense. Galloping in just in time, we have the Hierophant. Now, this is the system. We know this. The Hierophant represents law and order, but also the accepted way of doing things. So although he breaks with convention all the time, he breaks rules, that's what he does, the system is still standing up to him. It's still holding on. Okay, the middle of July. The Princess of Cups. Take a good look at this. The bat wings are coming out for Trump, the Joker. Ha! The middle of July is starting to get knotty for Trump. This next week or so, not too bad. He may or may not meet Putin. We'll see what happens with that. It looks like it's going ahead in Finland or somewhere weird. Presumably he's going to meet Putin to get his orders for the next 6 months. But this is a very interesting image, and this is about, I don't like using terms like evil and forces of darkness and so forth, because I think they come from a very old and tired way of looking at spirituality. But this is not a nice man, and he does attract the forces of darkness, and they are speeding upon him. Wow. Wow. So this also is a female card. So this is, I'm wondering if this could be Ivanka. This is a woman who is bearing down with the passion of the female energy. It could also be the mothers in these wonderful protests that have been going and going and going about the separation of the children. It could be that maternal energy sweeping down onto him. He next gets the Six of Pentacles. This is in the Thoth deck success, shining light. You know, this is some degree of success. Now, you'd think in this central position that it's about him and maybe he has a bit of a success with that. But I actually suspect that it's this woman or female energy going to have success, because underneath that there is the Ace of Cups. All the good things which together with success would be marvellous, reversed. So again, he's going to be thrown onto his emotional profile, which is that of a child. And he simply doesn't have the reserves of an adult to fall back on. He's pleased or angry, very much like a toddler. You know, his world goes up or down in a nanosecond, whether he is being humoured or not, or whether anyone is doing his bidding or not. So this is the good things falling out of his world at this point in the middle of July. What we have here with the Six of Cups, which is traditionally nostalgia, I'm not surprised. I bet he wishes it was different, right? But it's not, Donald, I'm here to tell you. So by the end of July, with the Six of Cups, he is going to be, he's struggling. The message here that I'm getting is he's struggling with his emotions. Now, this is not new, but he's got more cups coming up. And so what I suspect is happening, viewers, is until now, more or less, he was always emotional, but he would then move back and do what he was doing in day-to-day living and his stupid deals and stuff. And he would get out of that emotional state and he would just spit at people and they would jump to attention. But now he's not getting his way emotionally. The tariffs are looking like a really bad idea. The zero tolerance policy that was popular is now looking like a really bad idea. Harley-Davidson have said, don't accuse us of being unpatriotic. It's because the tariffs are fucking stupid, Donald. Right, and this is beginning to have traction. So he's not getting his way. So he's a cornered animal. This is the end of July. It's still not the end of Trump. This isn't saying end of. This is just saying that his emotional world is catching up. The world. He's upset the balance in the world, literally, which is what people were afraid of course, outside of America, when he seemed to have this huge commitment to destroying allegiances and partnerships and then pallying up and humping the leg of dictators all over the world. This was very disturbing to the world. Now the tariffs have kicked in. The world is not happy with the Trump. And he wants to be liked. So he's actually running out of dictators. Right? Because even dictators like and dislike certain people. I don't think even Putin or Duarte, I don't know that any of these people, or even Kim Jong-un, actually like him. I think they think he's a dick. I think they see what they do as being strong and what he does is being a clown. So he is looking more stupid to the entire world. The Middle East is rolling its collective eyes at Jared running around. Asia is taking no notice whatsoever of the Trump. They're just looking for ways to make money around him and will find those ways. Now the world has, in a way, got his measure. At first, people were shocked and they were hoping it would pass and he'd be impeached and he would go. That hasn't happened. So they're beginning to go, you know what? This guy, in Australian parlance, is an out-and-out wanker. And people have no time for wankers. Okay, so he's looking really stupid. And the reason I say that so strongly is he then gets, for the end of July, the 10 of Cups. So it's the end of a cycle. Unfortunately, not the end of him as president, but it's the end of getting away with this delusional rubbish. So in other words, excuse me, big business is starting to go, whoa, the stock market is starting to respond, you're getting pushback legally in all sorts of ways, and that's without the grime and sleaze stuff. That's without the Stormy Daniels story. That's without these other stories. This card is saying, in a way, it's the swan song. This is Nero with the violin or the fiddle. You know that old story that Nero fiddled while Rome burnt. I don't think it actually happened, but it's that sort of thing. He is so deluded that now people are going to move around him. Okay. And he's still got to get through a blood moon eclipse on the 27th. Watch out for the 27th of July, Donald. And that's before we touch August. So what I'm seeing here is it's not catastrophe. It's not disaster for Donald. It's a different sort of energy. It's people going, and that's almost worse if you're a world leader, right? Until now, people, they weren't afraid of him so much. That's the Republicans. They're afraid of him. World leaders aren't afraid of him. They're just over him. And they're going, you know what, if you want to send these imbeciles to our countries and call them ambassadors when they're far right nutcases, then we're going to kick them out. We're going to take no notice. We're not going to give them national security clearances. We're not going to speak to them. If you are going to introduce these ridiculous trade tariffs, here you go. Here, have some back. Buy the wheelbarrow load. There you go. Right? So people are starting to go, Donald, we're over it. We're really over it. And I think because he's got so many emotional cards, I think he's actually going to sense that. He's not the most delicate little flower in the box. He's not used to pushback, and he's not used to being ignored. And that's my message here. He's starting to look like Krusty the Clown. And that means that's the end for him in another way, because it means he's no longer a player. He didn't want to go with the Allies, so he's only there with despots, tyrants, and those who assassinate their own people. They're his only comrades at this stage, and they don't like him either. Oh, he's a bit lonely. He's a bit lonely. There's going to be no one at his next birthday party. I can assure you of that. Right? There you go. All right. July for the Donald. Now I'm going to do a reading for you on Justice Kennedy and his sleazy son. All right. I'll see you soon. Please write comments. Thumbs up. Bye.